Today is a day for heroes, for giving the best that you can, for winning and losing and saying, good on ya! It's all in the game. All in the game. It's all in the game. All in the game. It's all in the name of football. Football. Central. Well. North. 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 South. Stern. Torrance. Wesley. Waco. Seventh. Football.
Hello, good evening and welcome to 7 Sports' special edition of the big replay of yesterday's interstate match from Football Park between South Australia and Victoria. And what a magnificent day it was for South Australia and for South Australian football. We kicked a record score against Victoria of 26 goals 16, the third biggest margin against the Vics of 56 points, and we brought to an end an 18-year drought between South Australia and Victoria. Victoria had beaten South Australia 14 times since 1965, but this South Australian team was prepared to do battle. Let's pick up the game in front of 42,521 people and your commentators Peter Marker and Ian Day.
Umpire Rick Kinnear from South Australia gets the big clash underway between SA and Victoria. Mossop in ruck for Victoria against Rendell of South Australia, who gets the first tap away. In goes Michael Aish. Ball doesn't come out and the umpire will come in and bounce. Neil Cordy waiting for the outcome. A rebounce almost back in the central circle. Rendell again against Mossop. Rendell again gets his hand to the ball first. Tom gets it across quickly to Neil Craig. South Australia go into attack to the half-forward line. Waiting his opportunity. Copping gets one hand to it. At the back was Stabickler. Gets it out to Michael Aish. SA go forward to the half-forward line. Kernahan there. Can't quite get to the ball. Chance SA now. A high tackle. Or was it? Did he duck or was she pushed? South Australia has got the ball through to Lindner. He seemed to just duck a little bit as he came through, but Bruce Lindner, a late inclusion with a loss to South Australia of both Bruce Abernethy and Rocky Roberts, who were declared unfit through injury. And Lindner's got his opportunity 40 metres out. Kick underway. First kick in interstate football. He's got it. A great start to SA. One goal. Victoria hasn't scored.
South Australia forced that one forward pretty well, and Michael Aish ran down a long way from the centre, got the kick back. He speared it back to the centre half forward area. Lindner came in and, well, whether he's on his way down, ducked or whatever, the umpire gave it to him and the goal was a formality.
Rendell, one of the leading lights in the VFL with his superb rucking for Fitzroy, gets the tap away again. Naily for South Australia on the left leg. Hooks it towards half-forward line. Coming to meet it strongly for the Victorian team is Neil Clark. Clark runs it over. Teammate Laurie goes long towards centre wing outer side. Ashman can't quite get there. Naily can. Naily at centre wing. Out he goes by Flower. With him there is Mark Goo. Naily battling hard for it. Mossop at the bottom of the pack. Quickly Craig gets it out. Chance Lindner. Lindner's disposed of quickly in Schimmelbusch around the corner towards centre wing, and the ball goes out of play on the outer side.
See Schimmelbusch line up. He was in doubt very late in the scene, but into the side. John Mossop and Rendell. Rendell gets front spot. Neither player can get near it. The Victorian player and Barry Rawlings went down, and I think he's going to be free kicked. No. Oh. Rawlings just went out. That's Naily there and Ashman. A bit of fire early. Doesn't hurt. Pretty harmless stuff. The umpire's going to bounce it. Mossop and Rendell again. That's Aish with the ball, but the Victorians are going to pick up their first free kick. It looks like it's going to Rawlings. Barry Rawlings kicks it to centre half forward for the Vics. On his own, Greg Phillips. He plays it straight on. That's Neil Craig. Kicks a long ball looking for Lindner again and half forward. Victorians punching it away. Ashman couldn't read that one too well. Mossop falls over. Lindner again for South Australia, weaves out of the pack. Naily gets it across to Keith Thomas. South Australia looking good at this stage. They're up with the ball. The Vics still yet haven't found their feet. Stephen Eck in trouble, holding the ball. Greg McAdam for the Crow Eaters. We'll have a shot for goal from about 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Won't quite get the distance. The pack forms. The Victorian defenders are going to run it out. Rawlings is on the end of the handball. Sweeps it along grandstand boundary, beautifully disposed to Brian Wilson. Neil Cordy it was, in fact, also a relatively late inclusion of the Victorian side. Conditions perfect. South Australia won the toss, kicking to the southern end. Mossop got that ball away. Barry Rawlings again picks it off the ground, but you'll find that's out on the full.
Neil Craig to bring the ball back in for SA at centre wing. No breeze, kicking towards the golf course or southern end. Craig from check side of centre wing goes long to the half-forward line towards Kernahan. Kernahan thumps it away. Ashman in there for the Victorians. Platten through for South Australia, working the ball in front of him, and the umpire says holding on. And the free kick will go to the South Australian rover on the half-forward right flank. Far out to score. On the lead is Nabickler. Won't get to that play. Yes, it will. He gets the leap away. Nailey can't quite get there. Mossop for Victoria. Overruns the ball. In there was McConville as well. The ball comes out to Mossop again. Hooks around the corner for South Australia. It was Thomas, but it was taken away now by South Australians copying. Here's a chance for Giles in towards full forward. McAdam has got the ball 25 metres out. The Victorians just a little slow to get started, understandable having played on the Saturday, but at this moment South Australia leading in the race to the ball. Greg McAdam, 25 metres out in front of goal, no breeze to worry about. Very talented young man. Heads to the southern end, kick underway, looks like he's pushed it offline for a point.
South Australian state coach Bob Hammond there. He doesn't actually coach a league side here in South Australia, but he has had success with the Norwood club. Alongside him was Hayden Butt. Beautiful kick-off from McConville, who looks to be playing in the back line. So it looks like Simon Madden's at full forward. Mossop gets the handball out, and the Vicks go forward. The centre half forward. The umpire has seen one. You'll find that'll go to Russell Ebert. The umpire indicated that he was being held onto. Russell Ebert's captain of the South Australian state side. A couple of years ago, he played for North Melbourne. Stephen Kernahan in front, plays it on to Keith Thomas. The Crow Eaters are looking pretty good. Schneebeckler on a lead. He got a thump in the back. The ball's rolling close to the line. Keeping it in is Neil Clark, and he clears for the Vicks. Robbie Flower, smothered from behind. Michael Aish for South Australia, beautifully disposed to Nailey. No 15-metre for that one. Neil Clark gave Nailey a bit of a push, but that was about all. The Victorians look very lethargic. They'll certainly have to lift because South Australians are pretty sharp and they can kick goals in a hurry, I can tell you that. Nailey's got that one. That's his first. The Crow Eaters have got two now. 2-1 to Victoria, yet to score.
A perfect pass to Mark Nailey, who was looking for the 15-metre penalty. Nailey's been in a little doubt himself for South Australia. He plays for the South Adelaide Football Club, and he's been in trouble with a hamstring and some doubt about him even playing, but certainly he showed enough speed there to beat the Vicks. 2 goals, 1 South Australia. Victoria yet to open their account.
Looks like Madden is at full forward for Victoria. We've got problems with full forwards. There are not many recognised full forwards in the country at the moment. Mossop got that one away well. It's through half forward. Rawlings comes in. Over he goes. Not Rawlings, it's Alex Marcoux, in fact, and he'll take the free kick, the attack side of centre. He'll get another few yards as well to bring him a bit closer. He decides to play it on. Not well put. Ebert smashes it away for a ball in. It's Terry Danaher who flew with the ball behind Russell Ebert then. The Vicks pretty desperate for a score. We're 7.5 minutes into the first quarter. 27 for Victoria is Madden. Punching it away is Platten for South Australia. Marcoux again. He's beaten to the ball by Tony Giles. It goes out again, and there'll be another ball in at right half forward flank for Victoria. Number 27 is Madden. Number 30, Matt Rendell. Rendell gets the tap down. It comes out to Aish. He got it from Neil Craig. Ace's kick, not a good one. Robert Flower for Victoria. Spears it across goal. Here's a chance. Picking it up for them is Terry Danaher. His kick forward is a good long kick, but just offline for a point. That's Victoria's first score. South Australia are 2-1. The Vics 1 point.
Been a good start. Coming across there. The umpire's going to give a 15-metre penalty, which you seldom see. Craig Williams, a former Victorian footballer, playing full-back for South Australia this afternoon, drives long, back towards centre field, looking up there for Rendell, off the fingers. Stephen Eck back for Victoria on the half-back line, can't get it away. Well tackled by South Australians Craig Bradley, but in doing so, he's given away a free kick. And Eck in fine form in the VFL to put the Vics out of trouble momentarily. To the half-forward line, all South Australia back there. Keeping his eyes on the ball is Tony Giles, and he's got the ball on the half-back line. Giles runs it across to Phillips. Phillips short to the lead of Craig, intercepting well for Victoria, but not taking the mark was Cordy. He's battling up again. South Australia's Craig at the bottom of the pack, and the umpire will come in for another bounce. Played over 9 minutes, 2-1 South Australia. Victoria a point. At the centre, Mossop against Rendell. Michael Ace reads it well. Coming in for Victoria there was Hawker, can't get the kick away. Thomas to the half-forward line. Platten further still. A chance, Craig. Bradley on the run. Out comes to Beckler towards that player. Can't quite get there. He's buttering up again. McAdam wants it wide. 40 metres out. Michael Ace further out into the open goal. Go South Australia. Can't miss. Beautifully done. Running football. The Bickler got it started, and South Australia have got their third goal on the board.
Good running from South Australia. They came forward very well. The pass just missed Snee Bickler, but he backed it up pretty well. Got it across to McAdam, and Michael Ace, who's done a lot of running from the centre of the field so far, was on the run. With his fourth kick, he kicked his first goal.
Rendell. Mossop gets the benefit of that bounce, goes to the half-forward line, looking there for Big McCann. Going through, but leaving the ball behind Schimmelbusch. South Australia with a chance now through McAdam. Tunnel balls it, and the umpire will come in and bounce. A bounce between centre and half-forward line with the Vics in attack. McCann appears to be playing centre half-forward. Mossop. Another thump away, which was good football, but to Riley of South Australia towards the half-forward line. Copping using his body well, has a chance to get it clear, but he's well tackled. In goes Platten, and the umpire will come in and bounce on South Australia's half-forward right flank.
Victoria, as I've said, they look pretty tired. They're going to have to pick it up. Mossop, Kernahan gets the tap down. Glenn Hawker tries to get it away for Victoria, but can't. The handball comes out from Craig. Platten's got it over again to Bruce Lindner. Here's another goal coming up for South Australia. He doesn't miss many. 2 goals, Lindner. South Australia doing it on the bit at the moment. 4-1 to Victoria, 1 point.
Well, once again, it was the speed of South Australia, the pace, their ability to get to the ball first. But it was John Platten who set up the movement then for SA with a beautiful handball. Under pressure, he got it past the back pocket player in Clark. Over to Lindner, who had a little bit trouble picking it up. But when he did, he was confident. His second goal.
Mossop for Victoria has worked tirelessly in ruck, but every time he gets a tap down on the centre, it's snared away by the South Australian centre players. Rendell got that one. A push in the back will go against South Australia, and it'll be taken by Victoria. They go forward. The big leap from Madden was ineffective. Couldn't take the mark. Rollings around the corner. Couldn't take the mark, Victoria. Giles for South Australia clears. A long clearing kick. Mossop didn't appear to be near the ball there, but he got a high one. Nearly marked it. Ended up with a free kick. Ashman comes out to take the mark. Couldn't get off the ground. Taps it through. Madden tries to kick it off the ground. Keith Thomas puts it back to Giles. That goes straight up in the air. Madden knocks it forward. Ashman again. Danaher. Back to Hawker. A long kick forward. Getting under it is Riley for South Australia. And takes a good mark in defence.
Riley in the back pocket. Goes goes across ground looking for Rendell. The big fella's got a chance. Flower over the top, spoils that opportunity. Quickly in now is Bradley for SA. Gives the running player a chance. Phillips tears out of defence. A long handball will come across to South Australia's Whittlesey. He's the back pocket player. Well intercepted. Beautifully done, Victoria. That was Hawker. Pulled off the ball now. Whittlesey with the opportunity. Whittlesey half forward line, puts SA into attack up towards the Bickler. Can't quite get there. He'll be first to it. Platten, Craig can't get it. Michael Aish into the scene. Ducks his head. Called to play on. Copping for South Australia. Can't get it clear. Quickly now it's Lindner. Lindner taps it out. Over towards the Bickler. Picked up by Craig. Shot towards goal. Just offline, 1 point.
South Australia moving it very quickly, as we've said. They've got pace on their side. They've got fresh legs. The Vicks will have to iron them out. A good kick-off finds Hawker further afield. There's a push in the back, and you'll find that Robert Flower will take the free kick. He's the Victorian captain. Normally a good kick. Kicks it to the centre of the ground. McAdam. Clark's in there for Victoria. Finally, it's Flower again, playing a lone hand out there at centre wing. Puts it forward, and Brian Wilson comes out towards the ball, but he's easily beaten by Keith Thomas for South Australia. Back it comes. Flower in front, Lindner behind. Number 19 for Victoria is Elphinston. His kick, not a good one. Whittlesey marks easily. That's not a good kick. High to the centre of the ground. Underneath it is Rendell, and takes a good mark. Big Matt Rendell is now playing good football for Fitzroy in the VFL. Kicks to centre half forward. Big leap from behind. In comes Kernahan for South Australia and gets it clear. Number 8 for Victoria, and Neil Clark pushes it towards the line. Out of bounds, a ball in.
Throw in. Almost in the full forward pocket of South Australia. Simon Matt with Kernahan at the back of the pack. First recover for Victoria was caught. He couldn't get through. Likewise, Schimmelbusch. And he's going to get a free kick for pushing the back at centre half back. Runs it over there to McConville. Into Rawlings goes down like he was pole-axed. In goes Rawlings again, but this time a free kick is going the way of Michael Aish for hanging on, and he's got the ball on the half forward right flank, almost out the centre wing. Michael Aish gets out the short pass. Craig, centre half forward. Too far out to score. South Australians giving a few leads, but Craig is going in long with kick number 5. The Bickler in front, spot at the back there was Field. Socket off the ground, and I've got an idea it's a goal. And I think it's a goal to Copping. I'm not certain who it was, or Platten. Platten's goal, socket off the ground. Too quick for me, and South Australia off to a great start, 5-2 to a point.
Victoria in trouble, no doubt about that. That ball went forward, and there was a lot of Victorians standing around flat-footed when Platten kicked it off the ground. The Victorians are going to have to lift.
Madden in ruck against Rendell. Rendell gets the tap away towards centre wing, and Cordy coming in to meet it strongly now with Schimmelbusch. Looking for backup support. Goes out short, wide to Marcoux. Marcoux's got it. The Vicks now looking dangerous. Settles the ball towards the half-forward line. It wasn't a good kick, however. And coming to meet it strongly, Stephen Eck. He's hauled off the ball. Pushed through by Rawlings. A chance, Danaher. Danaher wants backup support. Gets it now from Hawker. Chips out the pass. And short going in was Wilson. Can't get it. Ebert through. Gets out a long handball into the back pocket. And a chance for South Australia to clear. With the ball is Tony Giles. Sidesteps easily. Craig centre wing has got the ball. Looking for a running player. Thomas wants to give him the run, but Craig bolts off. Looking for the long kick in towards the pockets. The Bickler on the lead. Serafani right there with him. Thumped away. Michael Aish will get this one. Gives out the handball. Lindner again. Back to Platten. Platten heads for goal. Ball coming back with a boot, but not quickly enough. And it's a point to South Australia and Platten.
South Australia doing it well at the 17-minute mark of the first quarter. 5-3 to Victoria, a point. The kick-off. Madden gets underneath it. He should take that mark. He's the tallest man there. Can't. Ashman clears for Victoria. Beautifully put to Danaher. No doubt about that. That was perfect disposal. Danaher kicks it forward again, looking for McCann on a long lead. Couldn't take it. Dropping the ball was Neil Cordy. Players stack up, and the umpire will come in for a bounce. Victoria having trouble up forward. It looks like they're resting their ruckman at full forward. Mossop's there at the moment. McCann got that tap down to Marcoux. Marcoux's kick forward. Mossop underneath it. He can't get past Williams. Craig Williams did a good job then against a taller, bigger body in John Mossop. And the Vics get another point. 2 points now. Williams kicked off. Found Ebert for South Australia. Looking for Bradley on a wing. And the youngster takes a good mark. The kick is to centre half forward. Kernahan up. Lindner up. Through for South Australia is Copping. He swings it back towards Lindner. The handball, not a good one. You'll find a free kick there. Will go to Elphinston for a high tackle. He's got a lead from Hawker. Hawker marks on his own. He's got a paddock to move in if he wants it. He'll go short to Danaher. Danaher starting to get a few touches now at centre half forward. The handball is long to Rawlings. Rawlings will have to get rid of it quickly. And this is where the Vics are falling down. Mossop up, couldn't take the mark. South Australian players in. Thomas the handball out to Williams. Finding it hard to pick it up. Got one from behind. A push in the back.
Peter, we've sorted out one thing. Wayne Schimmelbusch, you were right. He wasn't fit enough to take the spot. And Greg Smith, the South Melbourne player, has come in and wearing number 10 Guernsey. And, of course, he was number 10 in the program. We apologise for that omission. Victoria with a chance. Through Cordy. Gives it across to Clark. Started in the back pocket. Lovely mark to Wilson. He came over the top of the pack and took a clean mark about 30 metres out in front. Doesn't waste any time. Gee, he's confident. No, he's going a short pass. Gee, that was dangerous. Into the open goal goes Danaher. And Victoria has taken 19 minutes to get their first goal on the board.
Poor old Brian Wilson had to clap himself then. It was pretty good work, though. He sized that up pretty quickly. Took a fine mark, and although I'm not too sure about the percentage aspect of the move, but he saw Danaher there, and that's where the ball went, and the Vics brought up their first goal. But Ian Day, they look pretty sick-side at the moment. They're slow, lethargic, flat-footed, and they'll need to do plenty more to get back into it.
Peter, you know from your tremendous amount of experience, though, that it usually takes a quarter to work the old limbs a bit, and never underestimate a Victorian side. Still plenty of time left yet.
Madden got the tap down. The tackle is on. Down goes Hawker. The umpire will come in for a rebalance.
Peter, the hard thing is to reconcile, as you said about Brian Wilson. When he got that goal or gave it to Hanaher, it was a deathly hush in the stadium.
Well, there sure was. Poor old Brian came back clapping pretty hard. He wanted someone to give him a cheer. There's a free kick at centre half back, and you'll find that'll go to Stephen Eck. Started off with North Melbourne, and now playing good football for the Melbourne side. The smash away from behind was Giles from South Australia. Marcoux. Thomas got it over to Whittlesey. The handball's on to Aish. Aish always does something with the balls. On a lead is Schneebichler. And that's where it goes. Looks a lot like Malcolm Blight. Schneebichler. Number 16 for the South Australian side. He's kicked 1 point so far. That's a better kick for goal. Through it goes. South Australia 6-3, Victoria 1-1.
Peter, you're right. When the ball hits the ground, that's when Victoria's in trouble. They're simply not recovering enough at the moment. And I emphasise that. But that time, a series of handballs found Michael Aish, and it was a perfect pass to Schneebichler, who was out of the blocks in a flash, giving Serafani no chance at all. The Vics have made an interchange. Having a spell is Smith, and going on in his place is the other latecomer, and that's Shaw.
Rendell again against Madden, down to Platten, beautifully done. Platten's handball went astray. Kernahan comes in, couldn't pick it up. Copping's in the fray, so is Platten. Sheldon's there for Victoria. He'll get a kick pretty quickly. No, he missed it. Rawlings picked it up and kicked it away. Ebert smothered the ball well. Kicks short and finds Aish. Aish was a star last Tuesday night in the Sterling Cup match against Footscray. Kick number 7. He started off pretty well today. Schimmelbusch, Schneebichler on a lead. Lindner got the handball away, but it was ineffective. The Vics are trying to push it out through Madden. Hawker's there as well. Michael Aish for South Australia. The handball from Thomas was along the ground but effective. McCann picked it up and it hit the post. 6-4 the Croatians. Victoria 1-1.
McAdam coming off. He's been interchanged. So South Australia, it's Gary McIntosh. A late inclusion in the side as Clark takes the kick off towards centre wing, and a chance for Cunningham. Ashman there as well. Cunningham takes the ball. McIntosh quickly in. Destroys Cunningham. Michael Aish again. I don't think Cunningham expected anyone off the interchange bench. Thomas to Platten is good football. The South Australian rover towards goal. Goes for a long one. Serafani getting back and takes a strong mark right in the square. Elects to play on to the outer side. Out there he'll find Rollins well clear. Takes his 5 metres. Kicks towards centre wing. Looking up there for Flower. Flower and Abernethy, not Abernethy, that was Bradley. Flower looking for backup support, can't find it. Out goes Marcoux, but it's Rollins who comes forward towards the half-forward line, and a good mark pulled down by Danaher at centre half-forward. Danaher quickly plays on up towards the forward pocket. Strong mark. Wilson, I think it is, about 40 metres out, and coming on for South Australia is Motley in an interchange. 18-year-old Peter Motley, the son of the chairman of selectors, Jeff. But the action right with number 7 at the moment, Brian Wilson, Brownlow medalist, only about 40 metres out, heads towards the lake end. Nice looking drop punt. That's home for all money, and the Vicks have got their second goal on the board. 2-1 Victoria, South Australia 6-4.
He's a pretty good player, Brian Wilson. Should I say a very good player. Temperamental apparently, but a lot of temperamental players are champions, and there's no exception. It was a fine kick for goal after a fine mark. 2-1 the Vicks, South Australia 6-4.
At the centre bounce, it'll be Rendell against Simon Madden. Madden gets the benefit of the bounce to tap down towards Ashman, coming through Craig. A chance now for Stabicler, who appears to have gone to centre half forward in the interchange. Kernahan came off, but it's Bradley who sends South Australia into attack. Motley's gone straight to full forward and taken a mark. His first kick in interstate football coming up. He's only about 40 metres out from goal. Kernahan off, Peter. I didn't see what happened to him, whether it was an interchange or whether he got injured.
I think it was an interchange, Ian. They've made a lot of changes. McIntosh on as well for South Australia.
Motley from 40 metres, drop punt underway. I think he's just pushed it offline slightly, 1 point only. And South Australia 6-5 to Victoria 2-1. Proud father looking just a little anxious at the moment, seeing his son kick a point with his first kick in interstate football.
The kick-off. Rendell gets it down to Craig, beautifully over to Aish. This is where South Australia are winning the game. Out of the centre. That was a good mark to Rawlings, Victoria's best player so far. Snared well by Keith Thomas to the local side. He gets a kick forward. Peter Motley comes out, picks it up well. Handball's back to McAdam. McAdam will go long. Copping is there, but can't take the mark. Platten to Crumbs. Here's a goal. 2 to Platten. 7-5 South Australia. Victoria 2-3.
What a magnificent pick-up by Peter Motley. The ball was well short of him on the pass, and he came tearing to meet it. A beautiful pick-up. The handball went back, and then the long kick across goal. Copping almost took the mark, but Platten, cool under pressure with his 5th kick, popped through his number 2 goal, and South Australia off to a great start in the second quarter, leading now 7-5 to 2-3.
Rendell is doing very well for the local side. Mossop also for Victoria. The benefit of the bounce favours South Australia. Coming away again is Neil Craig. The handball is cut off by Marcoux. Flower is caught below the knee, and pretty good choice by Flower then. He decided to hold on to the ball because he knew he had the free kick. Naily for South Australia kicks it through. Out comes Stephen Ick. Well done, Ick. Got the handball over to Hawker. Hawker swings it wide to Grant Laurie. That player goes short. He misses Cunningham. Keith Thomas got the crumbs, and he looks for Platten. Courageous mark, the youngster. Off he goes. Could this be goal number 3? Not quite. Motley under it. Couldn't take the mark, and it's through for a point. South Australia very quick in their movement forward. 7-6 now to Victoria 2-3.
Keith Thomas playing exceptionally well for South Australia. The hierarchy from the local side, including Hayden Bunton. 6th kick. Kick in by Serafini to the outer side. Big leap by Cunningham, gets the ball out. Ashman, half-back flank at centre wing, all on his lonesome is Hawker. That's the way the ball will go. Can't quite keep it in play. In fact, it's out of bounds on the floor. Bad luck for Victoria because they could have torn off with the ball. They had a probably 50-metre run. Keith Thomas with the penalty kick in goes towards the half-forward line. Looking up there for Stabicla. He's swallowed by 3 Victorians. Naily in for South Australia. Out wider is Michael Aish, but can't keep the ball in play. Half-forward right throw-in. For Victoria will be Mossop. And for South Australia, looks like Stabicla, number 16, is going for the throw-in, giving away quite a few centimetres to the big Victorian Geelong ruckman. The tap down, taken by Stabicla. Platten out wide Aish, but Platten gets the kick in towards Linda, sets himself, well shepherded away there by Laurie. The shot in towards goal, Stabicla, but he's offline. 1 point to South Australia.
The Vicks again slow to start in this quarter. Perhaps they shouldn't have a quarter-time break. Every time they have a rest, they take a while to get going. Serafini is the full-back. Been a good player for a long time, Serafini. That's a fine kick. Underneath that is McCann. No contest. Be good if the game was like that all the time, but that's McCann's first kick, in fact, or first disposal. He got it over to Hawker. The kick forward. He was searching for Edmund. Couldn't find that player. South Australia out of trouble again through Phillips. A big leap from McAdam, couldn't take the mark. Victoria got plenty of players around the ball. Stephen Ick finally. Sucks down already. An easy mark there to Ashman. The professional 15-metre was given away. Ashman doesn't use it. Not a good kick. Finds Hawker though. Wide to Cunningham. Here's a go to Marcoux. Took his time with the kick. Lined it up, but he's offline. Alex Marcoux should have kicked that one. It wasn't too difficult a shot. 2-4 Victoria, South Australia 7-7.
Williams short into the back pocket, or Giles took his eye off the ball, but Williams backs up, drives now towards centre wing. Riley out here, can't get the ball. Big leap over the top by Danaher, not successful. Out of play, half forward right flank. At the throw-in, it'll be Phillips going for the ball. Gets the tap away. Michael Aish cleverly. Bradley, half-back flank. Aish runs it again. Craig runs him into trouble. Gives a chance. Naily, good football for South Australia. Naily running away. Can't catch him with Sheldon. Goes in long towards full forward, but a fine mark. Serafini, he's caught holding the ball, says umpire Rick Kinnear. A fine tackle against Serafini, who looks a little bit astonished that he's gone for holding the ball, but Peter Motley, who was quick to realise the Victorian was to play on, has got the free kick about 30 metres out in front. Motley, who plays more on a half-back flank for his club side than in attack, kicks towards the lake end. A nice-looking drop. Party just guided it through. His first goal. South Australia 8-7, Victoria 2-4.
Well, when you're in trouble, you're in trouble. Naily's kick forward was well put, but ducking across in front was Laurie Serafini. Thought he had it all to himself. The tackle came from behind. Was it a push in the back or holding the ball? Push in the back wasn't on. Motley got the free kick and kicked the goal.
Rendell against Mossop. Rendell doing all the ruck work for South Australia. Mossop gets the benefit of the bounce from Glenelg, South Australia, who Victoria is very interested in. Mossop, Kernahan in there, gets out a handball, out towards Copping, can't quite get there, and a free kick is going the way of Victoria to be taken by Cunningham. He goes out wide. Victoria starting to run for sure now. Rollings, centre wing, looking for someone to pass to. Finally goes longer to Ashman. Too good for Platten. Victoria starting to look very dangerous now as Ashman on the half-forward line. Plays on with kick number 5 in towards Big Simon Madden. Up he goes again. A fine mark. Too tall for Craig Williams, and he's got his opportunity about 35 metres out. Madden, who kicked a goal in the last couple of minutes. His earlier effort from the set shot wasn't all that good. Left footer underway. Oh, the umpire's galloping there. That's got to be well offline. 1 point only to Victoria. Could have been a lot closer at the moment. 4-6. They trail South Australia 8-7.
It's a great mark by the big chap too. He pretty agile for someone of his height. It's Greg Phillips kicking off for South Australia. Gets plenty of distance. Big leap from Bradley. No one down though. That's Cunningham. Oh, he concedes ground, Cunningham. Complete miss kick. The free kick's on, but the play on is called. That's Michael Aish looking for Stephen Copping. Kick number 11, Aish. Back it goes to Keith Thomas. You can mark this one down. Keith Thomas rarely misses. That's no exception. His first goal, a great running goal, 9-7 South Australia, Victoria 4-6.
What a perfectly placed handball there to Thomas. Under pressure, it was spot on. He took his 10 metres. Kick number 8 went through the goals for a fine goal to South Australia. 9-7 SA, Victoria 4-6.
The mistake from Cunningham there was catastrophic. He kicked the wrong way.
Unloads it to Russell Ebert. Ebert, oh, not a good kick to the half-forward line. A chance for Cunningham. Traps it well, half-back line. The handball away wasn't all that good. Coming to meet it, Sheldon under pressure. In turn, Hawker. Back turns out of trouble. The handball away is not good. McAdams taken care of. Coming through, McCann gets it out towards centre wing. A chance out there for Rick. Bradley leads in the race for the ball. He's got to beat Mossop. Gives it back to Nailey. Nailey on the half-back line. Hooks around the corner towards Cunningham at centre wing, and he takes a fine mark. Cunningham just the check side of centre wing as he will centre the ball. Over there looking for Marku. Not a good kick. Stephen Copping read it well. On the lead now. Stabicler, the pass out in front of that player. Serafini gets there first. Taps it back. Over towards, that was Marku. Gives a chance Cunningham. Half-forward line they go. Leading in the race is Edmund. Gets around his opponent easily. Hooks back in towards Danaher. Too good. Well out in front of his immediate opponent. And he's got it about 50 metres out. Wants to play on quickly. Puts it in the air. Looking up there for Wilson. Big leap Wilson. Fine mark. Madden almost came in and interfered with him. But it was Wilson who stood his ground well and has taken the mark 10 metres out right in front of goal, and he plays on quickly. Certainly doesn't waste any time to kick goal number 3.
Oh, the Vicks played that very well indeed. Wilson saw Danaher take the mark and he said, come on, get it down here quick, I want it. It came down. Madden came in late, but Wilson is a very good player. Got all the balance in the world, stood his ground against Riley and took a fine mark, and again he played on pretty quick, and I'm sure that's what Coach Ron Barassi's told him. Play on quick at all times.
Kernahan against Madden, having his first run in ruck, having done a bit of damage for Victoria at full forward with 2 goals. Towards Thomas of South Australia. Ebert, left foot. A loose ball coming to meet it, however, as Schimmelbusch gets a bad bounce. He didn't have a lot of centimetres to get up there to get the ball. On top of it is Eck. Scoots it out, coming through beautifully is Giles of South Australia. Thought about the handball, puts it in long. Stabicler, Serafini, thumped away. First recover is Copping. In there, Michael Aish. Tapped away now by Eck towards the half-back line. With him there is Sheldon, but the ball will go out of play, half-forward left flank.
Gee, that was fantastic football there from Neil Cordy. He was outnumbered 3-1, and he got that ball down to the boundary line. Madden got it down towards Ashman. Ashman ran past it. Pretty unusual. He's normally a very sure ball handler, Rod Ashman. Rendell just replaced Stephen Kernahan for South Australia. And the Vicks are still trailing. 6-6 to the Crow Eaters, 10-8. Ball in. Madden against Sneebickler. Madden again. Ashman completely missed that. Flower, rarely does he make a mistake. Playing very well on a wing for Victoria.
South Australia have made a move there, Peter. They've put the taller Keith Thomas against Flower, and Bradley, who's been beaten in the air by Flower, has gone to the outer side.
Good move too with that one in, because Flower was way on top. Keith Thomas started very well for South Australia. In comes Madden. Gets the tap away, plays it forward. Ebert for South Australia, a wide handball. Robert Flower again, what a star he is. Got the handball clear, that wasn't too good, it missed Hawker. Back it comes to Keith Thomas. Gets around Madden as though he wasn't there. To centre half forward he goes, the big pack. Motley in front, kept his eyes on the ball, 2 grabs and a fine mark. Greg Smith just replaced Jim Edmund, who just can't get into the game, which surprises me a lot. He's a fine forward for his club, Footscray in Melbourne. Motley's kick is a sensational one. Even better was the mark. Stephen Copping. He's got the ball behind his back. I think he landed on it.
I don't think Serafini was too happy about the attention he's getting in the square, and he was looking to the umpire for a free kick for being held out. But certainly Copping got the mark far too easily for South Australia. In the end, he was up there by himself.
Stephen Copping normally kicks these angle shots. We'll have a look how it goes. Straight through the middle. His first goal. South Australia doing it fairly comfortably. 11-8 to Victoria 6-6.
Not the best kick you've ever seen. He tried to improve his angle, which he did, but I'm sure he meant to kick it a lot higher. It went through at about head height, but it was a goal to South Australia, and you can't complain about that. South Australia 11-8, Victoria 6-6, and we see now McIntosh on for McAdam. And another change for Victoria, Cordy off, and going on for the Vicks is Robert Elphinstone.
Pretty hard to keep up with these changes. There are plenty on. Madden got it away. Sheldon's on. Greg Smith, in fact, picked that ball up, got a kick forward, he's down. Mossop couldn't mark it. The crumbs are picked up by Marcoux. Short, back towards Hawker. It went further than that player, and Greg Smith, who recovered from a solid bump, took a mark at centre-half forward. I don't know if he can kick that. It's probably 55 metres. He's well within the square. Lining it up pretty confidently, though. He was dragged off the plane to Sydney, Greg Smith. Now he's playing a game in front of 50,000 people in Adelaide. Williams, not a good kick away. Play on, calls the umpire. Daly snares it. He's kicked it into a paddock full of Victorians. One South Australian player in Craig. Stevenik back to Rawlings. He'll put it further afield to Smith. Smith's handball is awful. Sheldon fell over, then got the handball back to Smith. He'll get another one on. A chance, Robert Flower. Can he kick a goal? No problems at all. Steers it through from a tight angle. His first goal, Victoria 7-6 to South Australia 11-8.
What a magnificent footballer. Under pressure there from the South Australian defence. He dummied beautifully. Kicked number 8 from the most acute angle. Shaved the goalpost, but he got full points, and that's what he was looking for. And Victoria still in there fighting. Down 7-6 to 11-8.
Certainly is a fine footballer, Robert Flower. He's had something like 17 disposals already with hand and foot. Madden, a double tap forward, even again playing well. Straight to centre-half forward. In front, Lindner couldn't take the mark. Staying down was Copping. Wide it goes to Aish. Here's a chance, Steve Bickler, way out on his own. Tries to get around on the left, then changes to the right. Here's a chance, through it goes. 2 goals, Steve Bickler. A quick reply to the local side. 12-8 to Victoria 7-6.
Victoria showing the lack of pace there, because the Vickler's not the quickest player you've ever seen, but he got round 2 Victorian defenders, and in doing so, gee, he had his 15 metres all right as he galloped onto his right foot, shot high, and South Australia have got their 12th goal on the board. 12-8, SA, Victoria 7-6, and McAdam about to come back into the action.
You're right about that.
This is a good bounce. Rendell gets there first. Platten doesn't get a good bounce. Rawlings tries to get a kick away, does it towards centre wing, and Thomas of South Australia. Over the top is Zick of Victoria, and the umpire will come in and bounce. Umpire Rick Kinnear from South Australia. Australian over. Started brilliantly, hasn't been quite as noticeable in the second part of the game. He'll come in short. Craig, half-back flank. South Australia will drop the simple mark there. The handball away finds Giles, centre wing. A longer kick this time. Motley's going to get a leap. Big mark. Schimmelbusch. Lindner. Here's a charge. 40 metres out. Heads for goal with a long one. Kernahan up there. Almost a big mark. They take him back in defence by Eck, but he runs the ball through his own goal line for a point. Gee, Lindner normally would shoot those, but his kick under pressure, or under full fight, wasn't all that good.
Kicking off Serafini, looking for Madden. Madden's going to be outpaced by Thomas. Well, the big chap does well, but couldn't quite hold him back. Thomas's kick is a good one, but not quite straight enough. A point to the home side. 15-11 now to Victoria 11-9.
Serafini. Good pass. Well, that's Elphinstone, back pocket. Cunningham at centre wing, wants the ball. It's going in that direction. Motley in front. Gets up high. Fine mark again. Oh, what a spectacular player. 18 years of age. Whoop, Cunningham in. Players want to line up a little bit. Umpire Kinnear, 15 metres against Cunningham. Not happy with the attention that he gave young Peter Motley. Brings the South Australian player to the half-forward right flank. A long kick in towards full forward. McAdam over the... 13-12 as we pick up the final quarter here at Football Park in the big interstate clash. Rendell against Mossop. Mossop gets the tap away. Ace gets it out. Schimmelbusch, South Australia into attack through their captain and Russell Ebert. Ebert up to the half-forward right flank. Naily back there. Elphinston, however, gets the handball away. It's not all that good. It went straight to Motley. He heads towards goal, puts it in the air, gives it a chance. Goal. A mistake by the Victorian defence. Motley's second goal, and the Crow Eaters off to a great start in the final quarter.
No doubt the Vic's in trouble. Elphinston had plenty of room then. He held onto the ball a fraction too long. The tackle came, the handball intercepted by Motley, and the rest a formality. South Australia 18-11, Victoria 13-12.
The South Australian bench having their fingers crossed. Can they do it? At the centre bounce. Rendell and Mossop again. It's been a tremendous duel. Smith goes through, leaves the football behind. Schimmelbusch gets it out wide to Bradley. Bradley in turn wants Craig. South Australia into attack. A long one up towards McAdam. 20 metres out in front. No breeze. A big chance for South Australia. A perfectly positioned ball just past the outreaching fingers of the Victorian defence. And McAdam heads towards the lake end. Kick number 9. Through the centre, his first goal. And South Australia forge ahead 19-11 to the Victorians 13-12.
South Australia again got it out of the centre very easily. The Victorians, as in the first two quarters, starting very slowly. South Australia a ton of pace, players running down the ground. McAdam, way out on his own, took a mark and kicked the goal.
At the centre bounce, Rendell and Mossop. Mossop got the benefit of the bounce. Out there from Craig to Bradley to Russell Ebert. Big leap by Lindner. Naily again. Slips out a handball. Motley, if it sits for him, he's in business. Full back line there. Desperate in defence was Cordy. Motley into the open goal, and South Australia have got 3 in 2.5 minutes.
Starting to look easy in the way that South Australia are handballing it out of the centre. They're setting it up with consummate ease. Motley had 2 chances in. The first one he got tackled. And on the second occasion, he kicked truly with his left boot.
Motley's 9th kick. 18 years since South Australia has won an interstate match against the Victorians on their home soil. Is today the big day. Scooped out by Schimmelbusch. Thomas leaves it behind. Craig Sockers. Schimmelbusch, he wants backup support. Quickly over now, Bradley searching for support. Doesn't get any, goes alone. Long in towards full forward. Copping there at the back of the pack. Coming through is Elphinstone. Kernahan. Lindner can't get it clear. Victorian defending desperately, and the umpire will bounce despite Mark Naily's plea for holding the ball. Umpire Rick Kinnear unimpressed.
I think the Vics are shot. They cannot do anything in the middle. They can't get it out at all. They haven't got players at the drop of the ball. There's one they want. That's Ashman. That's his 14th kick. Searching for Cunningham, but doesn't find that player, and there'll be a ball in at right half forward flank for the home side. The difference now is 6-5, and we've only just opened up the last quarter. Mossop and Kernahan. Mossop edges Kernahan out, held onto him, and the umpire is going to play a free kick to the home side youngster. He doesn't get a lot of distance with his kicks. It'll fall short. Copping can't mark it. The Vics swoop on it. The handball finds McCann. To bounce into. And he'll bring it right down. He'll handball it over the top to Hawker. Hawker's been quiet. Flower. Gets past Ebert. Ebert didn't hold on to him long enough. Madden up high. No mark. Sheldon the crumbs. Marcoux and Danaher. The kick's away, and I think he's just got it. Pretty hard to tell. The Vics kick a goal, and everybody boos. Victoria 14-12. South Australia 20 goals 11.
Danaher's 3rd goal, but what a magnificent dash down the boundary line there by Beat McCann. He ran for a good 100 metres and finally set up the handball. South Australian defenders unwilling to go and meet him because the loose man would have immediately really been created, but they did it well, and finally from the goal front scrimmage, Danaher's third goal.
Mossop and Rendell. Mossop got the tap down, but Ebert has played very well today, got there first. Bradley is smothered. Cunningham breaks the pack. Back it goes to Hawker. Hawker's kick is long, falling short. Giles is held and then pushes it through. Madden couldn't get back onto the ball. A point. Victoria 14-13, South Australia 20-11.
Kick in by Phillips. He started at centre half back and has gone to full back. Williams is off injured. Good pass out to Skopicka, who started at full forward for South Australia. He's been moved to a half-back flank, and Kernahan has gone to full forward and changing in ruck. Skopicka chips the ball towards centre wing on the outer side. In front, Cunningham quickly swings it wide. A chance, Victoria. Ashman, quickly they go in through Marcoux towards full forward. Madden coming across, can't get there, thumped away towards Danaher. Back in defence, however, it's even. He'll go out for South Australia. Got no one to kick to. He's got to kick for the safety of the line and does it brilliantly. Will it bounce out or will the Victorians? It's going to sit up for the Victorians. 3 against 1 here. As with the ball is Greg Smith. Oh, he's running himself into a bit of a corner. That's not the best kick you've ever seen in your life. Oh, he had a teammate there in Clark. The handball ought to have gone over. And he made a mistake, but brilliantly done, Russell Ebert.
Not good disposal from Smith. Probably thinking too much about his victory on Saturday. Kick number 17, Ebert. Craig. A bit droppy on that ankle, or he might have the cramp. Rendell wants it. Craig will go long though. Sweeps the boundary line. McCann and Motley. McCann easily in front. He's had his trouble with Motley. Motley has kicked 3 goals on him. He's done a lot of other useful work. Rendell. Over the top of Danaher. A long ball looking for Lindner. Great mark, Lindner. He's an exciting player. Bob Hammond's pretty excited too. Lindner will shoot short to Aish. Aish holds his ground. Nayley is loose. Aish will try and find that player. He came in very late and then dropped it. We seem to have had a lot of football in this last quarter so far. In fact, we've only had 7.5 minutes. South Australia most of the attacking. In comes Lindner. Couldn't keep hold of the ball. Players fight for it. Elphinston can't really get a kick away. McAdam to Craig. On to Schimmelbusch. A quick kick away. In front, Kernahan. No doubt about that. That was a good movement from Schimmelbusch. On the end of a couple of handballs, and Kernahan in front. Should kick a goal. Neil Craig has got the cramp. Trainers are rubbing the calf muscle at the moment.
Bob Hammond sent a runner out to him, Peter, to see if he wanted to come off, but I think with the chance of South Australia winning at the moment, they all want to stay out there, but they want 18 fit men.
Kick number 6, Kernahan. Through the middle it goes. 3 goals, Kernahan. South Australia 21-11, Victoria 14-13.
It was well done, very scrambly play in the forward pocket before the handball came out from McAdam to Schimmelbusch, and it was a perfectly positioned ball to Kernahan, who had the strength to mark in front, and the Victorian camp can still crack a smile, sort of. There's a couple of dull faces there, but anything can happen in football, but South Australia lead by almost 7 goals.
The Vics need a miracle. South Australia playing very confidently at the moment, and this is where it's happening. Rendell got it down, but Wally's took it away on that occasion. Keith Thomas, Mossop, smothered. He's very tired. Pushing it through is Ebert. Only as far as Marcoux. The Vics want a rush of goals. On the lead is Danaher, and he takes a good mark, but he's on a very, very acute angle, as you can see. Kick number 11 for the Vics centre half forward. Madden's way out of position. Couldn't have possibly taken that mark, and it rolled through for a point. 14-14 Victoria, South Australia 21-11.
Played less than 10 minutes of the final quarter. South Australia have put on 4 goals, Victoria 1. Phillips comes grandstand side. Oh, not a good kick. Danaher with a chance. He's retarded. Through goes Flower, and Danaher's down. He's looking a bit jaded, as well the Victorians might, having all played on Saturday. throw in, half-forward right flank, almost into the pocket. Mossop, who's put on a superlative performance, shrugging clear Victoria's Wilson, gets it over to Hawker. He gave it to himself. Marcoux loses it. A chance now for Spivicka to come away for South Australia. He's put on the left leg, undergrounds one. That's a shocking kick. Gives Smith the opportunity. Smothered off the boot well by Michael Aish. Back to Hawker, high to the half-forward line. All South Australia there. Almost a mark to Kernahan, and it has been paid, either that or the free kick. Stephen Kernahan, that centre half back. Russell Ebert goes to the outer side. That's a beautiful pass if it sets. Phillips back pedals to Whittlesey, but he's well clear. The Victorians can't raise the gallop. Smith trying to get across there. A long kick by Whittlesey up towards the half-forward line. All Victoria back there. McCann almost. Motley across to Bradley. Heads for the big bite woodwork, and he's got another one. Beautifully done, his fourth goal, Bradley. And once he's in flight, he is brilliant. Third goal, Bradley, and South Australia 22-11, Victoria 14-14.
Set up from a fine kick from Russell Ebert when he put it wide to Phillips. Down the ground it went. Two Victorians try to outmark each other. It came out to Bradley with his 11th kick. He kicked his third goal. Well beaten early, Bradley, but he's come back with a vengeance.
11 minutes into the final quarter. South Australia by 45 points. Mossop again gets the thump away, but South Australia continue to read the ball well, and this time Aish has got pinged for holding the ball. Free kick to Greg Smith, who puts him into attack to the half-forward right flank. So Bickler over the top, spoils. Quickly in for the ball is Marcoux. Getting through was Rawlings, collared, Nailey in trouble. Kang goes out of it well, gives Thomas the opportunity. He'll grubble one to Craig, recovered from the cramp. A long one to the half-forward line. Getting back there and taking a strong mark in defence is Serafini.
Laurie Serafini had some big problems today at fullback and in the back pocket. Finds Rawlings, down he goes. Nothing much in that. 15 metres is the result against Stephen Copping. Barry Rawlings. It's been a big kick getter for the Vicks, 17. In fact, centre half forward, the ball comes to the ground, they're in trouble. Giles to McAdam, back to Aish. The home side running again. Not a good kick, fell short into the waiting hands of Mosk, former South Australian. The kick away finds Smith. The handball further to Cordy. On again to Stephen Ick. The Vicks doing a bit of running now. Laurie Serafini. Not a good kick to Madden. Phillips swings it back to Riley. He'll go short to Aish. And Aish will probably hold things up for a while. He wants 15 and gets it, then he plays it on. Kernahan will swing it to Sneebickler. A bit of backpedaling. Short, not a good kick. He wanted McAdam. McAdam gets run over stupidly by McCann. And you almost get the feeling, Ian, that the Vicks are either very frustrated or they've given up.
I think frustration, Peter, certainly, but borne out by tiredness, and we've got to give them their dues. They have played 2 games in 3 days, but taking nothing away from South Australia at all. They've played superbly. Elphinston kick is not good. Play on. Back here towards McAdam. Use his pace. Watch support. Gets the handball away. Copping quickly across to Michael Aish. Into the open goal goes a throw. There's another one on the board. Michael Aish's second goal. 23-11 South Australia. 14-14 Victoria.
Well, the last couple of minutes we've seen some pretty strange movements by some Victorian players. McCann's push in the back was agricultural, to say the least. A couple of other of their movements have looked extremely tired. By contrast, South Australia ran through half forward with consummate ease.
Jeff Motley's even allowing himself to smile. We've still got 13 minutes to go. He hasn't had a smile on his face for 18 years. Marcoux gets it out wide. Brilliantly read by Whittlesey. The kick is not all that good. Too far, however, for McCann. Coming across is Cordy. He goes to the outer side, but it's not well directed. Kick and taken by Craig Bradley on the outer side. Craig Bradley, an under-19 Australian cricketer. Kick number 12. Has got 3 goals with those 12 kicks as he kicks in towards full forward, and Motley in front of the pack. What a fine mark Oh, he's coming across the Copping, put him up a bit. Greg Smith there does the spoiling, and Victoria coming out of defence. Platten can't run him down. In towards centre wing, getting back on his tops. Close to the line. Swings out a handball. Giles, a long one. Towards full forward. McIntosh almost. Platten. With him there is Neil Clark. Platten on the line, wants support. Motley quickly across now. Copping loses it the first time, gets it the second time. Rubs it out, Motley. Back and it comes to Craig. No, it's Ace. Well wide out here is McAdam, and that's the way the ball will travel. And McAdam has got it 40 metres out right in front. And at the moment, South Australia running rings around a very tired Victorian defence. Greg McAdam chips away at goal. That has gone well offline, and a point to the South Australian run-on player. And they move on now to 23-12, Victoria 14-14.
Yeah, South Australia have got free players everywhere at the moment. The Vicks bring it out of defence. To Smith, Greg Smith. He hasn't played well. Lucky to get a free kick then for a high tackle. It was very technical. It's 15 metres as well. Well, not a good kick. It found a player, but it wobbled off the boot. That's Danaher, Terry Danaher. Looks for Madden. He's very tired. Riley breaks clear, gives it to Phillips. Freedom everywhere for South Australia. Bradley, he's finessing, which is something one shouldn't do in situations like this. Even long to Phillips. Phillips to Nailey. Nailey's a runner. He swings it to centre-half forward with his ninth kick. Ace couldn't take the mark. Rawlings gave it across to Serafini. A mishandle by Flower, but he recovered well. Then he takes off, as only Robbie Flower can. Over to Marcoux. Marcoux will swing it further to Danaher. Back to Flower. Flower will put it over to Ashman, but put him in trouble. Holding the ball. Oh, they can't take a trick, the Vicks. Riley plays it on to Kernahan. Kernahan lets it go to Russell Eden.
Oh, look at this down the other side, Peter.
Oh, it's a pad again. They can go all the way without seeing a Victorian, let alone confronting one. Nailey will take off like a man possessed. Short Talinda. And it's a procession. Bob Hammond is the coach. And he would be elated. He mightn't look like it, but his insides would be bursting with laughter at the moment. And he'd be pretty proud of the way the South Australians have played too. Right from the word go, they've set it up. The Vicks have tried hard to get back into it, but about 3 goals was as close as they got. This is Linda's ninth kick. That won't come back, a point only. Simon Madden comes off, he's replaced by Hawker. South Australia 23-13 to Victoria, lamenting at 14-14.
Mossop short. Ashman further afield. There's 3 Victorians to 1 South Australia. McAdam got up, but couldn't stop the mark there by Cordy. Ashman again under pressure. It's the second time he's been collared when the handball's gone to him. Danaher under pressure again. Well done there, Sheldon. Out wider now to Hawker, but the handball wasn't good. Or kept it in play. Robert Flower. He can shrug the tackles easily. Sets it up now. Marcoux. Marcoux chips it out towards full forward. Phillips back in defence. Takes a strong mark. Ebert provides the run. Greg Smith's got to go and get him. 34 years of age. Smith can't catch him. Kick number 20 to Russell Ebert. And he kicks long towards the vacant half-forward flank. But the umpire said this one's out of bounds on the full. And a very tired Stephen McCann going back to take his penalty kick. McCann, in fact, is at centre wing when he takes his kick. Chips away short. Cunningham, the running player, Sheldon through the half-forward line. Here's a chance for Victoria now with a long kick in towards full forward. Getting back there was Wilson. Wilson can't quite get it. South Australia tapped out cleverly Phillips. Sheldon a chance. Handball straight into Riley. And South Australia will come away again. Once again, we see no one at home at centre wing except South Australia. Ebert can run from Paddock.
21 kicks, Russell Ebert. He's played a fine game. Motley ran past the ball. Barry Rawlings, one of the Victorians' better players. McCann to Cunningham. The crowd's still not wrapped in Cunningham for something he did earlier. There wasn't too much in it. Danaher. He's been pretty useful too, Danaher. Kick to the other side of the ground, not a good kick. Naily for South Australia, tackled, back to Bradley. Two South Australian players loose. Take your pick. That's Gary McIntosh. He wants Russell Ebert. Ebert provides the support. Linda behind. A big no mark. Coming out McAdam. He got the kick away over the shoulder, but it's offline for a point. We're at the 20-minute mark. South Australia leading by 9 goals, and I think the Vics want to think about these games in the future. I don't think they can play 2 games in 3 days. It's pretty obvious.
Stephen Eck, centre-half back, drives long to the lead of Smith on the outer side. Getting there first, Giles. Tackled by Smith is good, holding the ball. And Sheldon wants to bolt off, but the free kick. Now go to South Australia for a push in the back. And we see Bob Hammond calling for another interchange as Giles gets his kick towards the half-forward line. Serafini couldn't. Quickly, it's Russell Ebert looking pretty tired himself. Finds Lindner. Took the handball well, and Lindner has got it. McIntosh was the player that set it up, and Lindner's got it 25 metres out. And we see Mark Naily coming off, put in a good performance for South Australia. Schimmelbusch going back into the fray, but at the 20-minute mark now, the Vics will need divine intervention to get out of this.
Shouldn't say that, Ian. They might get it.
Well, Peter, if they do, they've earned it. Lindner has kicked 3 goals, and that makes it 4. 4 goals to Bruce Lindner. He got his chance at the last moment when 2 South Australians were ruled unfit in Neville Roberts and Bruce Abernethy, and he's done well for South Australia with his 4 goals, 24-14 to 14-14.
The ageless Russell Ebert has done a lot of attacking down that outward flank, and Lindner ended up with that one, and the goal was pretty simple. South Australia by 10 at the moment. The Vics desperate for that siren to go.
South Australia would like to go until 6 o'clock until the Channel 7 news, Peter, I feel sure. Half-forward line. Here's a chance, Michael Aish. He kicks out wide. Cunningham, he's done well on this occasion, though. Giles does it better. Gives a chance. Bradley. Rollins can't quite get there. Bradley might need backup support. He's got Michael Aish. That's the way the ball travels, and he'll find Giles, who's butted up well, kept on running, and created the loose man on the half-forward line, and he, in turn, will find Keith Thomas. Thomas tries to get round Quaddy and goes in towards the big fellow. McIntosh, another goal to South Australia, and they're doing it oh so easily. 25 on the board for the Crow Eaters, and they're getting something back for their 18 years in the wilderness.
Well, the home side has got a lot of players over in Victoria playing now. They've only got 3 of them back today. That's Rendell, Phillips and Copping. So there hasn't been a great contribution from that section. There's Bob Hammond, and before it was Hayden Bunton. But it's a drubbing, an absolute drubbing here today. South Australia 11 up at the moment, and it's almost embarrassing.
Mossop and Kernahan line ball. That one Mossop tries again to Sheldon to the half-forward line. The Bickler couldn't. Whittlesey can. He'll be joined by Phillips. Doesn't need him. Out wide is Giles. South Australia continuing to run. Rollins could get there before Giles. Giles makes it just in time, but carts the ball over the line for a throw-in out of sight.
South Australia have had a lot of good players. The Vics have had few. Very few. Kernahan behind Mossop. The handball to Ashman. Been in trouble all day, Ashman, with his ball handling. He hasn't been the Ashman that we know, but neither of a lot of the Victorian players. I think Rawlings has done well for them, so has Robert Flower. Danner at centre-half forwards tried pretty hard, but not a great deal of support. Through the centre, Gordy runs into trouble. Platten fights for it. South Australians still desperate. Comes out to Ashman finally. And the Rover kicks one forward. Over the top it goes. Robbie Flower takes it off the pack. Couldn't miss from there. That's his 3rd goal. And the Victorian captain's played pretty well today with his 15th kick. And 14 handballs he's had as well. He brought up his 3rd goal. 10 goals the difference as we approach the 25-minute mark.
Peter, I think your descriptive adjective, played pretty well, was a little bit selling Robbie Flower short. I reckon he's been brilliant, as good as any man on the ground. 15 kicks, 14 handballs, as you mentioned, and 3 goals. A positively brilliant football.
He's played well, Ian, but his opponent's done a lot of great work for South Australia too in Keith Thomas. I agree, Flower's performance extremely good. Thomas tries to knock it away. Flatten gets a kick of sorts away. There's McIntosh. He's a battler. Schimmelbusch will play it on. Searching for a player at centre-half forward. Cunningham into the back of Thomas, and the South Australians don't really like Cunningham that much. Kick number 14, Keith Thomas. Copping on a lead. Stephen X trying hard all day. Spoils well. Gee, the handball was astray. Young Motley's got it now, and he'll kick back to the teeth of goal. Linda in front. She's outnumbered though, 3-1, 4-1. Applies the tackle. Elphinston looks very tough. Gets the kick away. Robbie Flower marks centre wing. Plays it on. In front. Terry Danaher. He kicks into the centre of the ground. Mark Koo, he's outnumbered. Whittlesey to Craig. Craig's got flattened, but he decides to go it alone. Linda on a lead. Up high. Great mark, Linda. Or can he mark?
I'll tell you what, Peter, I think there could be a few Victorian scouts around for this player after today's performance.
He's a top player here. They call him the president down at the West Adelaide Football Club.
Does not lack confidence.
He's a top player, all right. Bob Hammond still looks worried. I don't know why. Perhaps Bob always looks worried. In comes Bruce Linda. He's kicked 4. A great debut. Mark that down 5 for Linda. 26-14 South Australia. Victoria 15-14.
Yes, Linda, a very strong player, comes from the South Australian River Districts up at Renmark. Comes from a very big sporting family. His father is a whole family champion bowlers, and of course a relation in Linda was a former All-Australian in the South Australian football side. A great sporting name, but South Australia by 11 at the moment. At the centre bounce, it's going to be Mossop who gets the tap away over towards Ebert. Picking it up is Rawlings. He's done well for Victoria. Bounces the ball towards full forward. Coming to meet it there was a new player on in Edmond. Couldn't get it clear. Marku, Wilson ought to get the handball over. Victoria's goal here. Hawker into the open goal. Victorians keeping on running, but the crowd's still not very charitable as he got that first goal of his. They still booed him as he ran through to put an easy goal on the board to Victoria. 26 goals, 14, 170. The Victorians 16, 14, 110. So a 60-point advantage to South Australia, and still Bob Hammond can't relax. Still telling the runner to get out there and make sure that South Australia really grind it in. 2 minutes of time on has been played. I would think there's possibly about 4 or 5 minutes of time on all top. Mossop gets a big thump away. Ebert went for a stock asile. Danaher through, can't get it. Big Mossop can. Puts out a handball. Ashman thought about Edmund. Out wide of Steel Flower. Could be goal number 4 coming up to Flower, and I think he's got it this time. Yes, brilliantly done, Robbie Flower. Victoria fighting on strongly. Certainly won't quit. And you never expect the Victorian to quit in any case. Robbie Flower, a magnificent performance at centre wing. His ability to move the ball through the half-forward line is brilliant, and he's such a balanced footballer. His 17th kick. 26-14 to 17-14. Still at the centre bounce will be Rendell and Mossop. Mossop again too tall. Danaher. Ashman around the corner. This time Giles has got the opportunity. Taps it across. South Australia should go into attack here. Taking the ball away is Giles. Kicks long in towards full forward. Motley coming across. Gets his hands but can't complete it. South Australia on the hard forward line. Back there for Victoria was Neil Clark. Quickly out. A chance. Platten into the open goal. I think he's missed it. A good handball out from Schimmelbusch. But Platten not quite equal to the task. He's booted too. Normally he would get those on the run. 26-14. South Australia. 17 Victoria. 14 Victoria. Goes out to the outer side. Out there is Neil Cordy. I don't think the ball was touched before it went out of bounds. And Stephen Copping to take the penalty free kick for South Australia. Motley leads into the pocket. That's the way the ball goes. And he takes... no, he doesn't. Fisted away well by the Victorian defence. McCann, and the ball is out of play. Not McCann. Over on the far side there, Bob Hammond still hasn't allowed himself a smile. Maybe he will when the siren goes. Rendell in Victoria's Mossop. Tapped cleverly. Copping. South Australia's Craig. To the lead there of Bradley, and he's got it 40 metres out. South Australia using the ball particularly well, and their forwards giving them every chance by leading. Craig Bradley. 14th kick, 18 years of age. He's had 10 handballs to go with those 14 kicks. Or I think the kick is just offline. Yes, he's just sliced it slightly. South Australia 26 goals, 16, and not one of the capacity crowd about to leave. They want to savour every last minute. Big kick in by Serafini over the outer side. Ashman, good mark in front of Platten. Midget against Midget. 15 metres against Platten. However, Ashman doesn't need it. Up towards the centre line. Danaher can't find it. Going through Giles. Run down. South Australia a chance. Craig. The handball across puts Platten under pressure. A wider one still looking for Schimmelbusch. But Victoria, there it is, all over. South Australia, their first win on their own soil for 18 years, have run out big winners over Victoria. 26 goals, 16 to Victoria, 17 goals, 14.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that match as much as I did having a look at it again. What a magnificent performance by South Australia. Michael Aish was adjudged the best man on the ground and hence won the Foster Williams medal. A great performance by Aish. And it means that South Australia is now in a wonderful position to